Yes.
It shows that it's running.
Good evening.
Welcome to the Spurts and Jerks show.
Yes,
Yeah, we're just going to
here.
go ahead
We're
and forget
here.
the countdown today because obviously it don't want to work.
YouTube just started.
Here, I'm bound to
We're
determine
live.
to make this thing work. Let me see why it
Nothing
won't
like a
work.
smooth entrance. Nothing like a smooth entrance. Good
I
evening.
couldn't get it to work to
Welcome
save my life.
to Let's Talk Shop with Russ.
Yeah, so hello.
Well, you had a
welcome.
week off, so you got to be
That's
retrained.
no, I click on it. It says it's got a little
Several
plus
times.
signal right here, and it says show. So when you click on that, just one time, it should pop right up. Well, it didn't do it. So I don't know what it's. It's kind of like dumb butts like you, Paul, can do it. They can work it. So
Paul didn't work it either.
so anyway, but welcome to the show. Great entrance. I know that Michelle's thinking we're all a bunch of idiots, which we are a bunch of idiots. That's
Yes,
for sure.
yes.
But anyway,
I'm
welcome
just
to the
right
show.
at home.
Tonight we have Michelle on, and from the Southern Shell, and she is a crafter maker. That kind of crafter maker. So she's going to be on, and she'll be talking to us. A couple of things real quick before I've been messing around with a laser this week, and I put a brand new video up for those of you who don't know.
Yes.
And I made a
It's
couple
hot,
of.
too.
We got a couple of new grandkids in the family, and this is going to be their first Christmas. We have Nico, which I already gave them theirs. My son hasn't come by and got. He's supposed to be here Tuesday, I think, of next week. So we'll see him. But and this is Collins's first Christmas ornament. And then also I'm making. They're in a brand new home, so I made them a little keychain or a key for their home. First Christmas in our home, new home.
Cool.
Yep, I love that laser. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Anyway, before I forget, let me talk about my wonderful sponsors, and they are Devobal Technologies. For web design, development, and hosting, visit devobal.com. FastCap, innovative products for the professional woodworkers. Go to fastcap.com. Rockler, 60 years in woodworking. Great with confidence. Visit rockler.com. Bearwood Supply Company, your best choice for hard-to-find woodworking supplies. Go to bearwood.com. Klingspor, the sanding specialist, woodworkingshop.com, and Seiko, the scroll saw specialist, seiko.com. And let's get started. And guess who beat Brenda on the show tonight?
Paul did.
It
Yes,
wasn't
he
easy.
finally. He's been trying for the last 3 or 4 years to beat her. It seems like.
I think a limb kind of snagged Brenda, so she couldn't.
I had my
Yeah.
mouse right here, and I had my finger right on it, and by God, I was ready.
But see, it doesn't matter where I'm at on the panel because I'm just the rose among the thorns.
You've been
Yeah.
pouting ever since I got on.
Rose among the
Yeah,
thorns.
You'd like to think so.
Michelle, as if you don't notice that those two have a competition to see who gets on first.
No, we don't.
And Brenda, 99.9% of the time is first.
Yes, she
So,
does.
Paul
Yes,
has a
she does.
competition. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter to me.
You just say that because your feelings are hurt, and you don't want everybody to know.
All right, so Paul, tell us
Yeah.
where we can find you.
Paul Corliss on Paul's Messy Workshop. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me, if not in this spot, you can find me in that spot
And that's it.
on Saturday nights. And the reason your entrance wouldn't work tonight, Russ, is I have an override button that I wired up, and that's why it wouldn't work.
That I wouldn't doubt.
Oh, anyway, that's all I got. And Brenda, next week you can have your spot back.
I've got something for Brenda though.
Brenda, go ahead and tell us where we can find you.
Well, I'm Brenda G of Brenda G's Designs, and I have 99 million problems, but where I sit on this panel is not one of them. Okay? You can find me about any place on the internet if you look for Brenda G's Designs. I'm on Twitch, or well, not Twitch anymore, but I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I've got a channel there on YouTube where I do some comedy and I do crafting and do a live stream on Thursday nights with a fella named Matt Haas that some of you might be familiar with, where we have a lot of fun for about an hour. And it starts at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And wish everybody to join us. We do some giveaways and have a lot of fun there on the channel. So if you're not busy on Thanksgiving evening and the turkey ain't knocked you out, come and join us because we plan to be live Thursday night.
I know without a shadow of a doubt I won't be able to be there because my whole family comes over Thursday night. So, and we have this year with the new additions, I think there'll be 27 people here, and that's just my family.
Well, bring them all with you. Everybody's welcome.
Yeah. Well, that's just kids, grandkids, their spouses, and great grandkids. I have 3 great grandchildren. So, yeah, that's a big. Before we go any further, just let everybody know we are monitoring Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, all the chats and all 3 simultaneously. So we have Jeff Walsma over there on Facebook. He's I guess he's over there by himself. I don't see anybody else with him. So he's over there by himself on Hi Jeff. Michelle Marcoux out there. Lynn's Handcrafted Wood Designs is out there. Carl Gentry. Those are just a few. Just wanted to say hi to all y'all that are out there and let you know that we are monitoring Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch chat. So, Jim, tell us where we can find you.
Jim from Driveway Workshop. I'm not Michelle. And looking forward to the show.
Great. Dixon.
I'm Dixon Hoffman. You can find me at Hoffman Signs and Decals. And if you need 300 pieces of something printed, let me know.
Al.
I'm Al Forte. Kilroy 79763 on Twitch. I stream 2 p.m. on Sunday. I'm currently working on the USS Enterprise D. I'm also on Facebook. Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop on Facebook and YouTube at the same Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop. But you can find me anywhere. Just search for Kilroy 79763. Maddie hates that. The numbers are just like.
I still should say you should change it to 8675309. So.
8675309.
He's not Jenny.
Yeah, he's not.
You're not a very pretty Jenny.
Just call me out. Call me out.
If he was Jenny, that song would never be wrote.
Why am I getting soft in the middle, guys? Why am I getting soft in the middle?
All right, Donald.
I'm Donald Matthews, also known as Donald Vlogifies. I'm on YouTube, Donald Vlogifies Wood Shop. I got a website, redneckknowhow.com. And you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Those links are also on my YouTube channel. I think that's it.
Chris.
Hey gang, Chris here from the Old Cranky Workshop. You can find me Facebook, YouTube. New video coming out this week. I just finished a project, so the video is in editing stage right now. And I'm back from Key West, and I did leave some rum behind, so I didn't drink it all. So,
Not much, but some.
He ran out of the umbrellas, the little umbrellas that you stick in the drinks.
yeah,
That's why he came
when the
back.
umbrella drinks are all gone, it's time to go home. So,
There's more, but they're on a cargo ship out in the Pacific.
Right?
He just left some feedstock.
Yes, because the little damn umbrellas do come from China.
yes, I did.
We
My
asked
hearing
him,
is coming back too. So
we asked him if he did any partaking while he was down there, and he said there was no par about it.
All right, so tonight we have Michelle. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well.
Tell us where we can find you. Like if you're on Facebook or Twitch or whatever, tell us where we can find you.
I had never heard of Twitch until I watched you. I'm like, oh, what? Anyway, I am on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and I am the Southern Shell. You can find me My channel's The Southern Shell on YouTube and Instagram, and on Facebook, I believe it's Southern Shell Creates. I do have a website that is in the process of being fixed and put together, but it is southernshellcreates.com.
Great.
Welcome.
I think we talked about it earlier. How long have you been on YouTube?
I think my channel officially started about 2 years ago. Playing and trying to figure out how the camera and the editing work. So those first few videos are just a blast.
Yeah, they are.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being at the Hollywood Squares.
I was like, I feel like I'm on, Hollywood Squares. Yeah.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like that with everybody on here. So tell us a little bit about what got you into crafting and stuff.
I have been crafting for as long as I can remember. It is creating something out of nothing is just always very pleasing, I guess. We women can make babies, so that just is really cool, but we can't always be pregnant, so you got to craft.
Okay, I was sorry.
Okay.
It's a spare time kind of thing then.
There you go. No, it's a good therapy.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes, it is very good.
You know what? Now that you said that, if I could have gotten pregnant, I sure could have saved myself a lot of headaches.
Oh, good Lord. Here we go.
That's what you think.
Could you imagine?
So anyway,
Russ, I'm really glad you got into woodworking.
Yep. So you
just see them rolling into the maternity ward now,
right?
Yeah.
We already got the body for it.
Come on, guys. Tell us about some of the things that you really like to make. Some of the stuff you stumbled across.
I stumbled into paper crafting, and it's not. I would say it's a lost art, but there's a lot of people out there that still do it and work on paper crafts, and the stuff they create. It just is amazing. Some of the albums that I can use leftover cardboard and just cover it with paper and just create these albums that are just amazing with the waterfall pages. And it's like, yeah, that was paper a day or two ago, and that I think is what really gets me with crafting, is being able to watch something just transform so much. So papers and oh gosh, trash.
Ephemera.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
upcycling.
It is upcycling, and I'll share some of those things with you in a little bit of what I mean. My husband saved his Copenhagen cans, and I found a great use for them. So it's it was like a time. It's like, do you still need this? And no, I'm good for right now. But it's something. It's like I can use that, and so I've moved from a small bedroom into a larger bedroom into the basement. So and it's like, I said, don't get me a bigger space because I'll just grow into it. You can't do that with me. I'll fill it up. And it doesn't matter because I'll figure out something else to touch on and to do. That's why I'm kind of like spaghetti. I'm all over the place. So if I can get my hand on, I've tried woodworking and scroll sawing, and it's like, I remember the doggy doorstops made in junior high in wood shop. That's about as good as I got on that. But I can use like the little wooden ornaments, and I can create on that sort of stuff right now. But if I can, ornaments right now is the big thing for the holidays coming up.
Yeah, that is a big thing for everybody. Even with my laser, people are asking to if I can make personalized like named ornaments. So yeah, that's a really big thing. Now on your ornaments, tell us a little bit about that. Now I use a laser, but how do you put their names and stuff on the ornaments?
Oh, I have several behind me here that let me grab. Oh, these are the Copenhagen cans. These are Santa cams. Little cameras to hang on your tree,
Oh, wow.
but it's made out of trash. And
Russ, can you blow her up?
Yeah, can you?
Yeah,
can you
hang
make-
on just a second. I'm reached for my mouse.
There we
so,
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like on the back, I've just used some vinyl from my Cricut and did a Santa cam. Now this is oh goodness, what's the stuff? Putty from when you paint your walls, mixed with some paint and put on there, and it held on very nicely. And then the snow on here is actually white grocery bags chopped up. So I know it's you
Spackle.
gotta yes, spackle. There you go, and white paint. Mix it on there. Put over the Copenhagen can. I used now this is funny. I used a pop top off of a soda can, and that's what is my little ornament holder right there. So I mean
Wow.
it's
a little
just
tab, huh?
it is little pop tab, but
Yeah,
that's
I like that.
it's very it's trying to look and see something different out of it.
I saw that Santa Cam idea on somebody else had posted in one of the forums, and so I'm starting to try to make one of my own. I have a 3D printer, so I'm making the lens with a 3D printer and putting a piece of plexiglass in it. Oh, I like that. That's nice.
Now this is okay. These are Dollar Tree metal tags, 4 in a pack
Okay.
for $1. This is a Cricut vinyl, and then around the edge, I just used some more of my lovely little handmade snow, and got it on the edges of that. And it's just a ho ho ho. I think there's a couple that I think are just. This one's fun. Are we married yet? So I mean, it's like I don't even want to put it together. Are we
Now, when
married
you-
yet? Are we done? Type of
Oh,
thing.
you said that your homemade snow. You're talking about the plastic bags cut up.
Yeah.
The plaster. Yeah, the
Yeah.
spackle and white
Yeah.
paint.
Okay.
Right
Well,
on the
you can
edges
call
of
it
that.
spackle or you can call it drywall mud. It has
Well,
several different names, but yes.
It's
How do you cut
snow.
up the bags that fine?
You sit in front of the TV and you just click, 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 click,
Could
click.
you put them in a blender?
I don't know if I would try that. I mean, I don't see why you couldn't.
Paul's
but
going to try it and get back to us.
there you
It's
go.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's plastic. I don't think that it would.
Yeah.
The blades would cut it up very well.
This is a real fun one, and it's for those that don't have chimneys. Santa needs his magic key.
Magic key. Yes.
Yep. And so
Neat.
there is his little magic key, and it's just something fun. And it's once again just the metal tag, so the quality
that's
is
cool.
there. So just those are some of the way I can get the personalization and getting some of those done. But it's knowing what's gonna kind of I just turned on my shredder. I guess that's what I think about that.
Here's a way to cut up that plastic. Just put it through your shredder.
Shredder.
Yeah. Now I did think I was going to say that. Had you thought about putting it through the shredder to see if the
I
shredder would
had
shred
not,
it up?
but hey, maybe that was supposed to be my little hey, use me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try. I would try that. I'm curious to see if it would do it, or it might just jam the. Get
It
stuck
Right?
in there.
Go
That's
your
right.
legs.
Wrap around it, yeah.
I got a feeling it would wrap around them blades.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Go
Do it on the shredder when the shredder's on its last leg, and then you need a new one.
There you go. There you go.
Brenda, somebody out there said that the link for her YouTube channel is not working.
Uh-oh.
Well,
the
it
page
should
is not-
be.
I know. Here, let me try something real quick.
I
Right
was
click,
just there.
open link in new tab. Nope, it says 404 file not found.
On YouTube?
Yeah, the YouTube
I'm
link that
looking
she
right at it.
posted. The YouTube link that Brenda posted in the chat is not working.
Oh, the link. Okay. 'cause
Here, let's
YouTube
try
is not
mine.
running.
Let's see if mine
It's
works.
coming. I just posted again. It's coming up. I don't know.
Let me try. Hold on. Open
That
link
just
in new
means you
tab.
screwed up the first time, Brenda.
That one worked.
Yep.
Yep.
Both of
That
them
one
work.
worked. Yep. So that one worked. Yes. Okay. So her YouTube channel is out there in the chat. If y'all want to click on it and go over there and subscribe to her channel and give her some thumbs up, that'd be really good.
So I really try to work on craft fairs, but I don't do craft fairs to make money. It's just honestly for me that's not. There's not a lot of profit turnaround. So I do it as a way to sell my therapy. So that's really in order to get
Make
my stuff
room.
done. Yeah, there you go. I do it. I film YouTube how to make them. Like these were huge successes on my last, and they just went like hotcakes. And they're snowman kits. And I left this out so they could kind of see what it is. And then they bought the little kit to give to whoever they wanted. And
That's cool.
it's the magic model clay. So it's not going to get all over the furniture or in their car or wherever. It's not going to gum up and eat it up. So these were a big hit.
Well, if you're not big on doing the craft fairs, then where do you sell the majority of your crafts?
Well, a lot of times, I mean, I've just started trying to get the web page up and doing sort of that. But a lot of times I have special orders. People actually reach out to me and say, can you make this for me? And that's what I do. Otherwise, it gets put away for the craft fairs and I sell enough to break even. And that's my goal, is I just want to break even. People are like, well, you can sell them for more. They're worth more than that. I said, they may be worth more than that. And because you think about, you put all the time you put into it, and it's just not feasible for me. If I thought about how much it took for me to put this together with all the product, how much would you have to sell that for? It's not, it's not worth it to me. And it's not worth it to them when they can go and buy it at Walmart or someplace where they can go get it off the shelf for just a few dollars anymore. So, it's something I want to be able to do and have fun and share how to make it. And that's kind of where I'm at with my YouTube channel, is trying to go through instructional videos on how to actually do little step-by-step things. And I've gotten a lot of compliments on that, because sometimes when I was doing the gnomes, a lot of people are like, oh, you're never going to get the money you need out of those, or it takes too long. I said, well, it is taking me a while to do this because I'm showing you step by step on what needs to be done. How many times you need to wrap this? And because some people will just, on some of the videos out there, which is great because I can be a visual learner and just watch somebody do it, and that's great. But some people need to be guided step by step by step, and that's fine too. And that's what I want to do for them. It's like I can take something and break it down and share with you how to do it step by step and make it a little easier, where you could sit down with hopefully your grandson if they wanted to make some gnomes. I've made some that are very rustic. And it's like, it's not bad for a little boy to wrap yarn around something. That's great for something to do with his grandma, or I'm Gigi, so to sit down with Gigi and wrap yarn and make this gnome or a snowman or anything like that. But it's easy enough to follow.
Yes. Real quick, let me go through and talk about people that we have out there in the chat. We got a lot of people out there tonight in the chat. Lady Frenzy Wicked Truth is out there. Y. Mitchell is out there. Lynn's Handcrafted Wood Signs. Aussie Man's out there.
Aussie Man.
Yeah, Aussie Man. He's always out there.
Yeah,
he always cries whenever we don't have a show. Like last week when I didn't have the show, he always on Sunday morning, he had tears in his eyes when he was trying to talk to me. I'm just kidding. But anyway, no, he does. So he watches every week. Dan Inge from Dan Inge Woodworking is out there. Rick St. Louis. Steve Good. Hi, Steve Good. And he said his wife is doing better. She had surgery. And so he said that it's been a rough road for her to walk down, but she is getting better. And so that's good. Carl Gentry. Lady Frenzy Wicked Truth. Lady Frenzy Wicked Truth can't figure out which one she wants to be on, YouTube or Twitch, because she's both. Michelle Martin.
That's the Wicked Truth.
Yes. Jeff Walsma. All those are out there. If I missed you, I'm not doing it intentionally. I'm trying to go through. And James Parker.
Jimbo's out there. Yes.
He's out there.
Hello.
Your son Cameron's out there.
My son
Bonsoir,
Cameron,
Michel
when did he get
Lacour.
in here? I didn't see him.
He's on the restream from Facebook.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And Buster
Cool.
Stott is out there.
Buster Stott. Very good. Very good. Thank y'all all for being out there.
Check is also out there.
If y'all got questions for Michelle, put it in the Russ wants her shredder to be the guinea pig and not his.
Well, I'll ask Michelle, how many craft shows do you do a year, and do you do them year round? Are you just seasonal, or what you do?
You like everything froze up. So
Yeah.
I do 2 to 3 a year. Christmas, so I do one at the just before goodness, that Halloween, that holiday out there. And then one just after Thanksgiving. So I have one coming up on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And so that's the one I'm prepping for right now. And so that is when I actually do create certain items for, because I know what I've sold out of the last time I do those holiday ones. The other will be in the spring, and it'll be right around Easter, just before Mother's Day. And so I focus on that particular stuff that I'm showing how to make.
Now, when you
How much
test
stuff
run
do
a
you-
product for a craft show, how many items do you make of that product to put out?
Well, when I did the wood slice snowmen, I made 8 and sold out. They just disappeared. I also made some hippo washcloth ornaments, and those sold out. I made 3 of them, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it, because everybody wants a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Yeah.
And so they just disappeared. And so I'll be making some of those for the holidays. So, but it's something that you have to really, the very first one I did, I made like 80 of this. I called it Good to Know You, and it was a flip up card, and it had just decorations on it, and it put a little Kleenex packet in there, and I called it Good to Know You. I sold 2 because it's like cards are not a big seller at some of the craft fairs. I mean, that is just not what people are doing. Paper products and stuff like that. You have to know your clientele and what's out there. And that was like my very first one I did. And I did paper sewing kits for the drop boxes. And I made, oh my goodness, I still have inventory that I'm working on getting rid of that. And that's been a couple years ago. And so yeah, I've learned you only do a test run of a few, but then it's like, well, I should have done more of that product and less of that one. So it's really just hit or miss, or you test it on maybe your earlier one. And like I'm doing with the snowman kit, I made a dozen of those. I had 1 left. And so and I know with the Christmas one coming up, they're going to be looking for more Christmas items. And so for me, it's really hit or miss, because I want to just give everybody a big hug and give them away, but I can't.
Yeah. But you're not the only one that finds that. I quit doing crafts and shows years ago. I just got so fed up with it. But you're not the only one, because you'll see something that you like and you think is going to sell, so you make them. But when you get there, then it ends up bombing, just like you were talking about. And like the hippo washcloth, you never would have figured in a million years they would have sold, but yet, boom, they're gone.
Yeah,
so
they were gone.
Yeah, it's hard to predict. I will tell you one little trick that I learned and that on some of your items, and I don't know if you know this, but don't put them all out there on the table.
Right.
You know,
I
like
did that like the first time, and it was like overwhelming for me and them.
Yeah.
So,
Put like 1 or 2, and then that way, if they sell, you reach down underneath the table and put more out there, but make them think they're buying the last one.
Well, or they'll be like, "Do you have a different color?" And they've bought they're like, "I'm going to take 6 of these. Do you have any different?" And I'm like, "Yes." And they think they're buying me out, and I pull out the tote to refill it, like, "Oh, that's not nice." And so they have to go and get some more. And I'm like, but it's. I also try like to keep a tree up, and I will do. It's not bait and trap or whatever, bait and switch. but I'll do like $1 or $2 ornaments on that tree, and you get this frenzy of women over there just all over the tree. But then they start looking at everything else.
Yeah.
But it's those dollar or two ornaments that get them in there, and they'll start buying those up, and it's great. But then it kind of gets them in and kind of interested in the other stuff.
What's the most expensive things that you put out?
I've done I did a 3 globe, and it was where I did snow scenes in each globe, and had trees and the deer. I think my most expensive thing on any of my shows was $25. And this last one was a great big snowman head, and that was a messy craft. It was like, what were you thinking type of thing when you were doing it, but it turned out super adorable. So
Cool.
yeah.
My son Cameron is out there on Facebook. Well, now he's joined us over on YouTube, but he was on Facebook. He's given Al the
Right.
live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Yeah.
Michelle, we had a question out in the chat. Is if you've got a Santa key shaped like a house?
That would be Russ. I'm sure he could do that.
No, you're going to stay away from that one, though. Huh?
No, I actually did create a house, and I did it out of paper and, of course, Mod Podge, and I did my own little saying on there about Santa coming and getting the key and then leaving it for next year, and then I had the key on there, but I did not have a house key. That makes sense? I made little houses and put the keys on them. Is what I did.
Right. Yeah.
Somebody else out there wants to know where you're located.
I'm in East Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, and Tennessee.
North Carolina, yeah.
Right there, Blue Ridge Mountains. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful country up there.
Yeah,
I've been
Smoky
through there a few
Mountains,
times.
Kind of like this back here.
Yeah.
We have a lot more leaves that change though. Oh, this fall has just been gorgeous. Oh, but yeah.
Usually when you go to these craft shows, you don't, because actually I did it one time. I went to one and barely, and for some reason nobody was selling anything. Everybody was complaining. But anyway, but usually you make pretty good on them, in other words, because that one show that I did, I barely made enough to pay for the booth, and everybody was complaining about that. Have you ever had one of those?
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And this one's again about researching where you're going, and it was right when I was first starting, and we went ahead and we drove past Nashville. Okay, so this was a long drive, and we paid, I think it was $230 for 2 days, which now I mean. When I think about what I pay now, it's like that was stupid. And then it was in a barn where they would do animals, and so it was all dirt, and it was horrible. So all that money that we paid, and we drove, and I sold 3 of my sewing kits, which were $5 each, and 2 cards, which were $2 each. That was like, we went home and we didn't come back Sunday. It was horrible.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, check your areas out. Are you willing to drive that far for that amount you're spending on that booth? So now I do, I use the same lady who at Bristol Motor Speedways, where I was this last time. And it's like, I pay like $60 for the biggest booth I get. And it's one day, I have everything in baskets. So when I get there, I have my totes. Everything in that tote is in a basket. Everything in that basket is all in a bag that could be maybe my snowman head ornaments, or maybe my, oh goodness, it could be my keychains. If I did keychains, like I did some of those house keys, but I took a die cut and I used that clear paper, plastic paper. What is, oh my goodness, transparency. Goodness. I cut that out and made dragonfly wings, and then embossed gold around them and put them on that keychain, and it looks like a Harry Potter key flying, and it turned out super cute. So putting those in there, and getting all that. I don't say I go off on tangents. I'm so sorry. What was your question? I went off in la la land.
You know what's even worse? She forgot the question.
I did.
No, not you. Not you. The person that asked it.
I'll throw in another thing about the craft shows is talk to whoever's putting on the craft show and find out how many years have you been doing this,
Exactly.
and how many people do you think come through the gate, and
Yeah.
how
Well,
much
and
promotion do you do on
And
this?
I had asked that on the first one, but what she failed to tell me is this was her first year running it. Whoever had done it before ran it for several years, and then she was going to retire. So they handed it off to her. And honestly, I think she was a little challenged. And I didn't think that was fair on her to be put in that situation when I just don't think she could have controlled a whole lot more than she did. There wasn't the advertising that they said was going to be there. There wasn't the traffic that said was going to be there. That was there every prior year.
Yeah.
And so that I think is really also, you can do your research and then you can still have those situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have that list of questions, and it takes a while for you to develop that. But you go down through those list of questions, and that helps you decide whether or not you want to spend your money, your time, drag all your product around, put up with all the craziness that goes on with a craft show, because you don't want to sit there and waste your whole weekend for $10.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, it is just, is there anybody else in the craft fair that's going to be doing something similar? You don't want to be competing with somebody that's right next to you. It's like if I'm doing ornaments and stuff, I don't want somebody sitting right next to me that's doing the same type of thing. If I'm doing cricket ornaments and stuff like that, I don't want to be competing with somebody next to me, because I am not a confrontational person, and that's just, if there is an issue, I'm the one that kind of turns around, and that's not fair to me, and it's not fair to my customers.
Well, that person has the same right to be there as you do. It is the coordinator of the show that needs to be finding out what people are bringing, and not put competitors right next to each other.
Right. Well, what happened on this particular one is I'd be talking to a customer, and they would step over and hand them their card as I'm talking with them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you did not just do that to me, And I was shocked. Yeah, like that. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. That would not be the thing to do next to me.
Well, I mean, my husband is 6'3", so I just needed him to stand up and kind of walk over there a little bit.
You have to bring your cricket along so you can make a sign that points over to that booth and says their stuff is junk.
Well, they
do that.
They brought their cricket machine with them, and they didn't use it once. And I learned that because I attempted to bring mine to one, and it's like, you don't use it. If you're going to do something like that, you take those custom orders, and then that way you've got them coming back. You don't bring the machine there, because it is, especially some of them with a dirt floor. I don't want to ruin my machine. It's just the way it is. But, and I watched them put everything out just like I did my first time and bring it. I mean, it was wall to wall. They had like 3 or 4 families in there doing it. And I was just frustrated. And it's like, when you do something like that, I went over and talked to the coordinator, and I said, and she goes, do you want me to talk to him? I said, no, I don't want you to talk to him. I just want you to be
you to kick them out.
She goes, well, they brought things that they weren't supposed to bring. And I said, well, that's not for me to say one way or another. I'm just saying some etiquette needs to be taught, period.
Oh.
So, yeah. I mean, you get all sorts. You get people that are wearing clothes that things are showing that they shouldn't be showing.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. See, I would have said, I want you to kick them out, and I want their heads on pikes out the end of the driveway. But, that's just how I roll.
That just reminded me of The Walking Dead.
On a good day.
There you go. Yeah. And I mean, one of my customers, just because I just kind of turned around, and she told them how it was and turned around, came right back to me. And I was like, thank you, Lord, because
Yeah.
I just don't have it in me. And it's like I said, this is my therapy and I'm here to please everybody. And that can't be the way it is. If you've got to be able to have a backbone when you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have and the city of Lakeland is the biggest city in the county where I live. And they have a craft fair around the fall time. And they're very particular. You have to put in an application before they'll even accept you. It's not a matter of you accepting them. They have to
Right.
accept you.
Jury
And they're
show.
very good, very, very good about that same thing. They won't allow more than they sometimes will allow the second person selling somewhat the similar thing, but they make sure that the booths are far enough apart that there's no problem. But as a norm, like let's say I'm a scroll sawer and I'm in there selling, doing scroll saw stuff, they won't allow anybody else to sell scroll saw work. So that way you
Right.
don't have a competition. Which
Well, and also
is a very
I've
good
done
thing.
better at the craft show. The one craft show that was my best one was they only allowed handmade items. So many of these shows now are just trying to get vendors in there that you're getting
Yep.
paparazzi jewelry. Well, your handmade jewelry people cannot compete with paparazzi. They just
Right.
can't. It's
Yeah.
not.
They're
Yeah.
bringing
Like trying to
loads,
sell on
bringing loads of
Etsy.
stuff in from China. I mean,
Yeah.
really?
Or they'll get, they have Tupperware in there, and I'm sorry, I don't hand make
Yeah.
Tupperware. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just by the time they get back to the crafting booths, they've already bought stuff from 31. It's like, so look for what are there going to be other vendors there? Is it only going to be handmade items? What are you willing to kind of put up with that?
Yeah. Brooms, the 31, the
Mhm.
Tupperware, the list just goes on and on of all this retail stuff or home party stuff or whatever
Right.
you want to call it. And if I'm going to a craft show and I'm told that it is a craft show,
Exactly.
I expect it to be a craft show.
Right.
Yeah, that's very aggravating
It
to go
is.
through
Yeah.
that.
So,
Lindsay
Hey, Michelle, we had a
Handcrafted Wood-
question out in the chat. James Parker wanted to know if you do anything with glasses and cups.
I have not. Cricut does have their new cup to do mugs. They do have one out there that actually you can put your cup in and it heats it on around the cup, so it's a little better. I do not do the glasses and the cups because once again, we had 3 people there doing them that
Yeah.
had done them.
Mhm.
It's like when
Oh.
people get on these little phases, it goes through. Like I said, I like to dabble and touch in it, but I have not because there's just too many hands out there doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's like, for instance, it's like lasers. Last year I bought a laser. Now everybody owns a damn laser. Within 10 miles of me, I know that 3 other people that have bought lasers. And I'm like, really? Come on. All these years I've been waiting for a laser and now you have to buy one?
I didn't.
Lynn's
I
Handcrafted
haven't
Wood
either.
Sign says she
Me
was
neither.
put near someone that made their signs with a CNC, but they both sold stuff well and they actually became friends. So that's pretty cool.
Very good. Yeah, very good. Yeah, and it is good to actually make friends with those that are next to you. I did met the one lady and her husband, which was next to me on one side. Great. It's very important that you build a rapport. Those are your neighbors.
Right.
Mhm.
And so it is important to build a rapport with those around you. I don't want a dog, but I mean, I'm not going to build much of a rapport with somebody selling marijuana leaves. I mean, that's just I'm like, I don't want to judge, and I tried to be friendly, and I was friendly at first, and then I'm just like, I can't. I'm just going to step away, and that's probably not the best way to do it, but there's got to be a better way to do it.
They were selling what? Marijuana leaves? You
They
mean like-
had like oh goodness, I guess they had done I don't know what they were made them out of, but they had like big old marijuana leaves that were all colored and psychedelic and maybe I don't know. I'm like,
Did they do a good business?
you know what? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I was busy with my customers, and I seen them talking to people, and I seen people looking at their items, but then finding the prices, putting them back down.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, you've got,
For-
and that's a kind of the way it is with some of the people that are doing lasering now. They're trying to figure out how much they charge for something. I've read on 2 or 3 places where people are talking, they get $1 a minute for every minute that they laser something. So if something takes them 3 minutes, so to speak, to laser, that costs $3. That's the way they're looking at it or whatever.
Okay.
But you're right about sometimes you can't compete with the Chinese stuff and the import stuff because if you sold it for what you had in it, what the time it took, if you set an hourly time, there's no way somebody would buy your product like that. They just wouldn't do
I'd
it.
I'd have to make them all sorts of promises that I
Yeah.
couldn't keep.
Well, plus you don't want to drag the industry down by being the first one of the race to the bottom.
Right,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
just
and-
that's not good for anybody.
no, and it's like you just want to sit there and smile and be cordial. So
Yeah.
you just do the best you can.
It's
Yeah.
it's so different now. When I built my laser 30 years ago, it was unheard of a laser. Not many had them in their basement. Now everybody and their grandma's got them. So it changes
Yeah,
rapidly.
it does. And things, my goodness, things can just turn around in a minute. Now, lasers may not be the thing next year. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I just kind of keep doing what I enjoy, and sometimes it surprises my husband. Goes, I didn't think that would sell, but then people go in there and it's like it's sold the most of, and he goes, I don't get it. It's like, well, you're a man, and he wants me to sell fishing lures. He wants me to make and sell fishing lures. I'm like, I said I need a bigger basement.
Tell him to make them.
Been there, done that. Yay!
All right, I'm going to step out on a limb here because Brenda posted something, and I want to elaborate on it. It said, "Sell them a dog turd rolled in sugar if that's what they want."
That's
There
my
you
girl.
go.
I saw
There
on
you go.
TV, me and my wife watched this, and it's been several months ago, but they were doing on the TV, they were going around at a craft fair. And this lady was I don't remember what the animal was, but they were turds from an animal. And they were
Oh,
about
yeah,
the
I've seen
size of a pecan. And she was making things out of them. And they were selling like hotcakes.
Yep.
I mean, she said, "This is my turdy clock." And she had turds for the hours
Yep.
on the clock and had mounted them. I'm not kidding you.
Yep.
I mean,
I
she
saw
had
that.
taken made beetles, made turtles, all kinds of stuff out of these animal turds.
Well, I mean, I have 2 cats and a dog, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
Look at all
don't
the
think that
money you're losing.
I would.
Yeah,
No.
but she was selling them as fast as she could make them, so to speak. Everybody was buying them.
When you say, "Hey, let's go sell this," then
It's a
you really
crappy
need it.
business. Yeah.
Yeah, like when she would introduce, she said, "This is my turtle," like turtle, and she would
Oh, my
show it and stuff.
goodness.
Everything had a name to it with turd in it,
And you just got to be yourself, and that's it. If you
Yeah.
find your niche, and
She found it.
yeah, and that's it.
I think Cameron's kind of suggesting moose turds out there. Now, see,
Moose
I would
turd.
buy a moose turd. Yeah.
It
Okay,
might have been
Do
moose
you keep it
chocolate.
next to the mustard?
Yeah,
I mean, where do you store something like that?
it might have been moose turds, and I think you're right. Now that I remember it, I'd have to
I
ask my
just
wife.
posted the link to the story.
We were just sitting there, just shaking our head, and I mean, it was
anything.
like, yeah.
Except
You
what we
don't
make. I'm just kidding.
you don't expect certain things, and then it goes crazy. Like I
Right.
made these for the grandkids, and it was crazy what people that they wanted this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
don't
see,
get it.
another one with the little turds.
I don't get it.
I made that for all the grandkids for Christmas, and they had to open them up. And I says, "That's what you get from Grandpa."
But see, you don't have to get it.
And the
What
people
Yeah,
you
but
that
have
now,
to
whoa,
get
whoa.
is the money.
yeah, the people
Wait,
that
just
seen
a
it,
second. Time out. That's not a turd. That's poop.
yeah, the people that seen it, it went crazy, and they all wanted it. And my wife's girlfriend comes over, and she's in the basement. She says, "Look at," she goes, "You're printing your shit and selling it."
That's right. Exactly.
Exactly.
I give my
I wanna
grandkids.
tell
I
you-
give my grandkids the real thing.
Yeah.
When
I go get
that
that.
emoji
That's
came out several years ago, it went crazy. You've seen it everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everybody was making it. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, a poop emoji and it takes off like a hit. Give me a break.
Yeah, $5 a piece. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I
I just don't have it in my
know.
heart to play with poo. I've not gotten there yet.
But see, here's what you should do. You should make about 6.
Poos?
Yeah. And put them out at your next show and just see what happens.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Make them
Because-
ornaments, maybe.
If in the first 5 minutes they're sold, you got hit.
I got a hit.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way.
What about almond roca to look like cat box?
I had
There you go.
7 kids, so I have dealt with a lot of poo in my life changing diapers. Trust me.
Yeah. But none of them look like that, though. Not when I was changing diapers.
Frenzy Wicked Truth wants to know who started this crap.
There you go.
It was Brenda. She put it out there to begin with.
I'm good for stirring it.
Yeah.
Okay. Be careful what pot you stir. You might have to lick the spoon, honey.
That's a good one.
Jim
The
says,
only problem
making
is-
Winnie the Poop famous. Oh, it's poo famous.
The only problem is that opens the window for so many other disgusting things.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, I was really surprised that and I'm being serious here. When they came out with that poop emoji, I kind of figured it was like really going to be, but kids loved it too. I had my grandkids going like, I cut one when I first got the laser. I cut one out. Matter of fact, my grandson is here tonight. I cut out a poop emoji and gave it to him, and he goes, "Oh!" He was happy. He goes, "Oh, poop!"
Kids love poop. It's
So it really wasn't. It didn't turn out to be a bad thing. It actually turned out to be kind of a funny thing,
Yeah.
When
I'll bet
when
if you
your
did it-
grandkids that comes up to you and ask you, "Can you make them one?" It's like, okay, really?
You want me to make
I'll
you
bet you
poop?
if you
Yep.
I'll bet you if you did a test run, I would put these out. I was getting $5 a piece. I'll bet you if I did a test run and printed a big one, I could get $15 for it.
I'm trying to think of what I could make it out of. I bet I could use the paste and some paint and a cake decorating thing and just whoosh.
Yep.
There you
Right
go.
on it. See?
Yeah.
Well, hey,
Yep.
here you go. Put that. I call it drywall mud, but put the
There you go.
drywall mud in one of those things and just
Yes.
Yep. Just do it on out.
Squeeze
And then
it out.
clear coat it. Yep.
clear coat it, and there you go.
Are you supposed to put nuts in anything?
Corn.
Corn? I mean, shoot, I'll try just about anything.
There you go. You put a piece of corn in it, you get an extra $3.
Ew.
Yes,
I had to
Jim
go there.
Bashir-
I'm sorry.
Jim Bashir says it right. He said, "From craft to crap, all in one show."
That's right.
If you spray paint Cheetos with brown paint, it's amazing what they look like.
Oh,
That's some crafty crap.
hey, that's right.
Put a piece of corn right in his
Oh,
mouth.
my
It's-
goodness.
Dip them in
Put a piece
chocolate.
of corn there and
That's
sell
perfect.
$3 more.
Dip them in chocolate. And Dixon,
Isn't
if you use
it
candy
funny how
corn,
we get derailed so
Yeah,
easy?
there you
yes,
go.
very much
Yeah.
so. And notice I'm jumping in. Dixon, if you use candy corn in those, that would be even
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yep, you get an extra
Oh,
$2
my goodness.
at least.
There you go.
Something the kids can eat.
Oh,
Here you go.
Yeah.
I think I asked this before.
Sorry.
but do you have a
Michelle.
favorite craft that you have made several times and when you make it, you really enjoy making it? In other words, or is it pretty much all the same?
I think because I'll get on a kick and I'm like, oh, I like this, and I get bored. And then I find something else and oh, I like this, and I get bored and I just move on. And I don't know if there's any particular favorite one that I choose over another. I think that Christmas ornaments are big, and when I come up with something that's oh goodness, and it's like these are socks, and
Yes.
and it's super easy, fun to make with kids. But I don't know. I look at some of these and I'm like, well, that's super cute, but is it a favorite? I don't know. I don't know if I
Yeah.
have a favorite.
Yeah, it's kind of like me when it's scroll sawing. I've seen people work on patterns for like weeks.
Yeah.
Be 3 foot by 4 foot, and they spend weeks upon weeks. I can't do that. It just
Mhm.
drives me. I got to have something that I can start that morning and finish that afternoon because
Instant gratification.
because it just
Now it might take me longer if I'm designing something on the Cricut.
yeah.
Now, and that could be a little different if if it's something simple enough where I only want to do onesies or twosies, I'll just do it with a die, just a regular die machine. If it's something I want to make several of, I will design it and then I'll cut some out and do it that way.
Y'all just won't let it die, will you? Aussie Man told Steve Good he needs to do a crap pattern for his blog, and Steve Good says, "Holy crap, that's a good idea."
Jimbo says this is getting full of it.
He almost fell out of his chair.
I almost went too far back and fell.
Oh my goodness! I would have had to really laugh hard. I'm sorry.
I would have too.
Whoa.
I did
wouldn't
fall
have.
out of my chair one time on a show. Steve Good was on it. You remember that, Steve Good? Yep.
Yeah.
I had dropped something down, and I'm sitting in like a office chair. And when I bent over to pick it up, the office chair went out from underneath me.
Oh,
It was live
hear
on
you
the
all the
show,
way
and
down.
Steve-
And Chris
Steve Good was
and
on
Russ
the show.
Meadows and I were concerned that maybe you got hurt. Remember that, Chris?
Yeah.
We got over it, but we were concerned.
Yeah, it didn't take us long.
And that's a good question. I don't know if you could or not. James Parker said, "Michelle, can you cut thin wood with a cricket? Have you ever
Yes.
tried it? It
That
was
you
a
can. You have a
base wood.
blade.
Or-
Yes, you
Yeah.
can, and you can actually order it through them. I think Joanne's had some at one point, and you had to get it online. But they do have a blade that you can use to cut wood.
Yeah.
If you know you're going to make a lot of one thing, do you try to get your materials cheaper than going to
Yes,
like a craft store or whatever?
definitely. Like when I'm getting ready, all my little baskets, like I said, for setting up at the craft fair, I ordered it from the Dollar Tree website, and then I get 40 baskets and everything. All my baskets are in there, and then up onto the shelves as I go. And it's easy takedown too. There's a couple ladies that I had actually referred to the last craft show, and I mean I had a lot of stuff, and I had my stuff packed and put away before they had their little table done. And she's like, I said, baskets. You learn, up and down as easy as you can possibly do.
Yeah.
What sites do you find are better than others to try to do stuff like that?
To buy, I've bought in bulk from Michael's because you can get a discount there. Amazon. You have to watch what you're getting though. I got some wood balls in from Amazon at one point, and they were moldy, and I had to clean them all. And it's like, well, it wasn't worth it. I could have spent more and got them at Michael's, and I didn't have to spend how many hours cleaning, 2-inch balls.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than moldy balls.
Moldy.
These guys have a lot of practice with that.
Oh, I walked into that one, didn't I?
We're always going off the
You got to
rails.
watch out with these people.
They spend a lot of time down there at the golf course because they got that ball washer down there.
I'll go back to the corner now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's the
No, I
mute
know what
button
you're
on
saying.
the
I
bottom
ordered
left,
some-
Donald.
His fault.
Yeah,
I
Dollar
ordered
Tree,
some,
Dollar Tree is a
couple
good
of
profit
things.
margin.
it is. But you have to be careful because sometimes you can get that same stuff at Walmart for 93 cents. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
like, does every penny count to you sometimes? Well, yeah, it does. If I'm
Yeah.
using a pack of beads, adhesives, where I can get the same pack at Walmart for 7 cents cheaper, and well, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that if I can get it that way because I'm cheap.
But it costs you 42 cents to drive to Walmart, and you're
Not when
already at Dollar Tree.
Well, no, because I don't leave. I'm a homebody. I don't leave the house
Oh.
much. So
He has a route set out.
if I can order it and have it delivered to my house, even better.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
I've noticed that the craft paint, the same craft paint at Walmart, be for like 89 or 99 cents, and then you go to Hobby Lobby and it'd be like $1.39.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so same
And
exact
it's-
craft paint. So
Yep,
yeah,
same
I saw-
brand name, everything.
I saw a YouTuber do a comparison of I'm going to call them of the cheaper priced paints and better priced paints, all the way to Tamiya and all the brands. And he was using a airbrush, and some of the cheaper stuff actually worked better than the more
Yep.
expensive stuff. Yeah.
Well, and it's like, if you're going to, gesso, you would use gesso to kind of cover something up. If you're going to go ahead and use some of your cheaper paints. And if you've got it, I've got Gosh, guys, I have a problem with hoarding my stuff. I have paper coming out my ears down there. I have one big tall shelf with drawer upon drawer of different cardstocks, and my um, my scrap paper bin is one of those tall rolly carts with all the drawers, and I have 2 stackables on top of that, and it's all in color coordinate because I can't throw it away because I know I can do something with it.
Mhm.
And so
Michelle?
when I'm doing,
We have the same problem.
No,
except
no, we
our
don't.
paper has
No, we
not been
don't.
run through.
it's not
No,
Our
we
normal.
paper
don't.
has not been run through a paper mill yet. It's called planks, and
Wood.
Well,
boards, and
if
cutoffs,
Yeah.
and things
yeah,
like that.
if we're driving, it's like
No,
that's
we don't.
perfectly good wood in somebody's trash can, and my husband's like, no, because it's like it's like, no, get it, it's good because
It's all a
I
rabbit
do wood
hole.
signs. Yeah, I do wood signs. Like I made my husband the rod father, and I had fishing and that kind of stuff. I do the cricket and that's those fun things. But I mean, if I can get wood off the side of the road, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I do it
I've
all the
done that
time.
myself. I have a thing about you're gonna like. I have a thing with office chairs. People throw the office chairs. Well, I bring them home and take them apart and use the rollers. Like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stands that my laptop sit on, made out of office chairs. So the rollers.
That's why
cost
your
me
chair
nothing.
kicks out on you.
No.
You're getting them off the street.
Yeah, I
always
didn't get this
pull
chair
over.
off the street. I bought this chair from Walmart. Okay.
Russ,
When I
my
see
last
furniture out
chairs
there,
is
I
sitting
pull over.
outside,
Take it apart.
and my neighbor came up to me today and said, if you throw this stuff away little by little, and I didn't have the heart to tell him, no, I want to keep those because I'm gonna make
Yep.
a table like Russ is
Yep.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's like you can't throw it away.
That's right.
You can't do it. I had a bag of bags, of course, because I cut it and shredded
Bag
like
of
so.
bags.
It's like when we were moving, I had a tub that with twigs, but I needed a tub of twigs because
A tub of
twigs,
twigs. Yes.
arms.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need it.
That's right.
I know. You're
Wood
moving a
is
tub of
worth
twigs.
gold right now.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have the forest outside.
Nope. I have to have the twigs, because if I'm going to reach for it, I'm going to reach for it right then.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
We
At least
went-
I'm
we were
amongst
making with
friends.
the grandkids one time. I don't remember when it was, but anyway, we were making with the pine, doing some stuff with pine cones, and so I put some pine cones in a bag, the ones that we had left over in a bag, and they were in my shop. Well, I went through a while back and cleaned out a bunch of stuff and threw it away. Right, so I pick up this bag and I'm wondering, like, what the heck was in this bag? The pine cones had been in there so long they turned to powder.
Oh my gosh. No, that was a sawdust that we sent you for that.
No, it wasn't. They were the pine cones. They had just kind of like disintegrated. It had been sitting in there so long.
But Michelle,
I
what
actually
you're
felt
talking about?
sorry for them that they'd sit in that shelf all by themselves.
They
for all
didn't
those
get
years.
used. They
What
died
you-
of loneliness.
Yes,
What
they
you're
died of
talking about
loneliness.
when you needed it now, that's my problem with ordering online, because I never know I need it until I need it, and then I need it then. I ain't got time to wait for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Second
Two-day
day
delivery.
delivery. So, I mean, if I
Two-day
can put it off a
delivery.
day, yeah.
Yep.
Or Walmart will deliver within 2 hours. So,
Yeah.
Well, my roommate kind of ran into a deal with Amazon Prime and stuff, so I'm enjoying that now.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice. It can
You
get
do have to
trouble.
watch
I
out
got news
prices,
for you.
though.
And here's my point about that. When other businesses, and I know it's bad for the small person, like you, for instance, Michelle, but some of these businesses have to step up to the plate, because like Amazon, if you have a Prime membership, you get free shipping, and
Yep.
usually you can have it within 24 to 48 hours.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's one of the
So-
reasons I don't sell a lot online, because shipping can kill you.
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
Shipping is horrible. If I'm going to spend, if I'm going to be a consumer and I'm going to spend $3 for an ornament, I'm not going to want to pay $5 for shipping.
Exactly.
Want to do that.
But you have to charge them for shipping. You can't
Exactly.
afford to pay it.
You can't eat it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got places like Etsy that they want you to put your page up, they want you to list your items, but they also want you to give free shipping with it, which means
There's no
then
way.
you have to figure out your cost to list the product, your cost to give them commission. They're going to take tax out of that, and then how much is it going to cost to ship
It's
you
just
know,
not worth it.
wherever?
Right.
and then people take a look at the price and they're like, oh my God, I could have got this at the craft show for a fraction of that. Well, yeah, and it's not being shipped, and they're not having to pay all these fees and stuff out of it. Sure.
Exactly. Yep. It is. It can be just it can be a mess.
Yes.
A vicious circle.
It is.
We lost the owl. He's back. I don't know what
I'm
happened
still
there.
here. No, we lost
Dickerson.
Dixon.
Oh, Dixon. It was Dixon.
Yeah.
He fell out of his
You
chair.
still have this guy right here. Oh, there he is.
Did you rock backwards?
Dixon got sent to the
Guys, I
corner.
lost you guys like 3 times. It might be my internet or something.
Wait a minute.
No,
I'm in
he
the corner.
fell backwards and
Oh,
pulled the camera. and stuff
I
out.
got the center square.
Yes,
Yeah.
the center square.
Center
You're
square.
calling
Yeah,
in.
the center square. Sure did.
Okay.
And
I
of
don't know
course,
why.
the 2 troublemakers are down here in
My
the corner.
3 sons.
Lynn's
Came
handcrafted
to
wood
my
sign
head.
says, "Hey Russ, hey Lynn, how you doing?" Porter Woodworks is out there. How are you doing?
Hey, David.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. Russ Meadows, he's out there.
Russ.
Good to see you, Russ.
Jimbo wants to know, Russ, are you having a scroll saw contest this year?
No,
There
no.
you go.
After the fiascos of the last 2 contests, no. Not even going to try it. So we might try again next year, but I don't know what in the world's going on. That's about the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I figured with the pandemic and people being shut in that they would have went over good this year, but they didn't. So, yep, who'd have thunk it?
They just didn't want to compete with the last winner. That's all.
Well,
Yeah.
last year was weird. This year has been even worse.
Yeah,
I mean, stuff going on. Lord have mercy, my house is hit by a tree.
yeah.
Ooh.
So
Michelle, I do several contests during the year, like pallet challenge, for instance. You take a pallet apart and make something out of the wood from the pallet,
see,
stuff
yep.
like that.
Fun stuff.
But but it's just like we've had as high as 30 entries on some of the challenges, and this year on the pallet challenge, what do we have 2, Chris?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like
I
and
now
the
have
same thing-
pallets in the basement, which I didn't have. And my husband wouldn't let me bring any more home, so they came with the house. So
Fully made from pallet.
there you
Yep.
go.
Fully made
Yep.
from pallet.
I
Yep,
made a towel rack, and so it had shelves in it, and then the bar
yeah.
across the bottom. I did that out of a pallet, and I did a wine glass rack, and it put the bottles at the top. So I did that out of a pallet. So yeah, I mean I have little.
No,
played with little
there
things,
is
yeah.
nothing wrong with pallet wood.
No.
I am just the type of person that I waste too much time taking it apart.
Mhm.
Yeah, and getting the nails out of it and everything. I just rather go to Home Depot and buy the wood. Which
There was a lady.
nowadays, with the price of wood, you might
Mhm.
better. I have to rethink about maybe I should start tearing pallets apart.
There was
Yeah.
a lady close to me that was giving away 100-year-old barnwood, and my
Oh.
husband said no, and I'm like, but it's free,
But
and
Yeah,
it's
but it's
barnwood. It's free.
yeah, that's worth the
Free.
price of the U-Haul.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
Exactly.
kidding me.
I was like,
Yeah, there's
you
there's
just wanna
people
cry.
that would
Yeah.
pay an arm and a leg to get a hold of old barnwood and put it up to
exactly.
deck.
I'm like, you know what I could do with that?
Yeah.
And that he was afraid of what I would do with it.
I would have loaded the truck.
You know how many
We've got,
poo ornaments I could make with that barn?
Yeah. There you go.
Well, no, some people buy it and like put it on like one wall for an accent wall.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
yes.
know, so I mean, there's a lot. That would sell. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That
They'll
would
make the
sell.
barn doors too out of that wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
with me,
Yeah.
that would have been a case of it's better to apologize later than to
See, I
ask
should have just went and
permission
got it, huh?
Yep. You should have just went and got it.
But see, I don't have the truck. I have a Pathfinder.
Well,
But it
you
is
take
the
it- You take
It's
the
something that-
Pathfinder down
it's
to the
extended cab.
U-Haul.
So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. What Brenda's saying. Come on, Brenda.
Exactly.
Tell her.
Yeah, take it down.
Take that Pathfinder down to the U-Haul place. You rent the
They'll put a
U-Haul.
hitch
Right.
on
You
it.
go get the wood. You take the wood home and unload it. Then go back, return the U-Haul, and bring
I
the
don't know what you were
Pathfinder home.
talking about. It was in the basement when we moved here. I don't know if he'd
Or-
believe that.
Heck, you live in Tennessee. You bound to know somebody that owns a pickup.
I do. It was my son-in-law, but I'm afraid he would have told my husband.
You would steal your wood. Huh?
Nah,
You gotta
you-
find something to bribe him with.
There you go. Exactly.
That's when it's here. It don't matter.
No.
You're from,
I'm sorry,
you're from
it's here
Tennessee?
now.
I'm in Tennessee. Yep.
Any moonshine stills around there anywhere?
Not close to me.
Not
That I know of.
That she knows.
Okay. Never mind. I get
There's
it.
a reason it's the Smoky
Wink.
Mountains, because you can't tell.
Wink,
If
wink.
you get the Smoky Mountains, you can't tell what's the clouds and the shine.
Don't ask, don't tell.
James Parker.
When somebody gives you a taste of something, you're like, "Oh my gosh, what is that? Where'd you get it?" Well, I can't tell you where I got it.
Exactly. You were exactly
James Parker
right.
the other day scrolled a thumbs up for me.
Yes.
And he said the wood
Cool.
was 60-year-old pine.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, 60-year-old pine.
Very nice.
Yeah. David from Portal Woodwork said U-Haul rents trucks for like $20 a day. You're right.
I could have gone. I could have gone down there and got it. But see, I keep my grandson during the day, and he's only 2, so I'd have to move the car seat, and
You can put a car seat in the truck.
I can. I can, and I should
Teach
have.
him young.
Taken the time. Oh yeah.
Or you
He
can
goes
just put them
down
in
to
the
craft room with me.
you can just put them in the back of the truck and let them roll around.
He would have loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
put
gets
him
more
in one of those
bruises
little,
anyway. He is
put,
all boy.
Put him in one of those things that you start the toddler off that they set him in. It has the wheels on it where they try to walk around with it. You put him in the back of the truck. He'll have a lot of fun when you're driving down the road.
Oh, he
They
gets
love
on
those
Papa's
things. We
boat.
got one
Do
for
not
ours.
try this at home.
He gets on Papa's bass boat and tries to drive the boat. Of course, the riding lawnmower, Papa's tractor.
You do what my dad did, tie a rope around him. He ain't gonna go far.
Oh,
All right, so we were talking about this before the show started, and so we do
Workshop confessions.
yeah, wood shop confessions. I almost forgot there for a second. Wood shop confessions. Wood shop confessions. I'm getting old. Yeah, I hate it when I walk in to get my glasses because I can't see, and when I walk in, I stop there for a few minutes and can't remember what I walked in to get, and then I go back out the shop and realize it was my glasses because I can't see.
yeah.
So anyway, but wood shop confessions, and that's about blood, broken arms, dismemberment, stuff like that. But you had a pretty good one. So tell us about the one that you were going to tell us about.
Yeah, I had I've been working with, I try a little bit of everything. So I had my soldering iron. I was trying to do some soldering, and of course, this is not a wise way to solder. I learned when the solder dripped on my wrist. I knew it was a bad thing when it stopped hurting and the solder was still there. So I'm like, well, that'll leave a mark. And it did. It left a lovely mark. That's my soldering experience.
Wow.
So I'll bless you, child, so you will not have any more soldering experience.
That's right. It's like I'm going to teach you, and you're going to learn quickly on this one. So
that's always fun when I've had it happen to me a couple of times when you're standing at a table welding, but some of the slag will just pop off for some reason and land on your leg. I had one go in my shoe one time. I couldn't get that sucker off quick enough. So yeah.
No hot glue guns. Those high temp hot glue guns under the fingernails.
Yeah. Yeah, I just got over a blister on my, you can't see it because I heal real good, but I just got over a hot, matter of fact, my daughter and my wife, I had 2 or 3 of our daughters were here, and my wife, we were all doing some crafts. We were taking toilet paper and paper towels, the cardboard centers, and making candles out of them. And the one went to fall, and I went to grab it. Well, I knew the glue was at the top, but when I went to grab it, they dripped down the back side, and I just stuck my finger right in it.
And it says hot glue. They mean hot glue.
Oh, it's hot. It's hot. Yeah. I mean, it didn't take but about 10 minutes, and there was a blister already forming. So it got me good.
Gotta teach you real quick is when you're doing a little bit of wood burning and you set it over there on the little thing, and it kind of just don't get it quite right, and it goes to fall. and you
And
go
you
to grab it.
Reach to grab it.
Go ahead. You go ahead and let it fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm notorious for that in the kitchen too. Taking a cast iron skillet out of the oven, I'll grab it, handle and all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Ouch.
wood burning, hot
Mhm.
glue, solder. I mean,
Or you grab the the things that you pick up hot stuff with. Yeah, hot, and it has a hole in it, and your finger just happens to be where that hole's at when you pick it up.
Oh, or if it's damp. Oh, if it's damp, forget it. No.
Yeah,
it just
that's the
goes
reason
right
I
on through.
usually use 2 or 3 of those things now, in case one of them has a hole, the other one will cover it up, so I don't have to worry about that.
There ain't been a wholly wore out pot holder in my kitchen since I did it. Time for new pot holders.
Ron Buchanan says, "Howdy, Russ." He's over on Facebook. Hi, Ron.
Howdy.
And Ron the Wood Traveler says, "Hi, Russ. How are you? I'm doing fine. I was sick early in the week. Matter of fact, when Brenda Thursday night, whenever she had her show, I was on there for a little while, but I ended up getting off because the weather has been changing here in Florida. When I say weather change, it's not a drastic weather change, but still, when we get a lot of rain, it seems to stir up the pollen and stuff or the dust because, man, my sinuses Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday were just killing me. I mean, that's like tonight. I'm coughing every once in a while because I can feel that little tickle in the back of your throat from the post-nasal drip, so to speak.
Me and Michelle say, "Cry us a river."
I know. I've been like that for over a month now. Okay.
Yeah.
We live here in North Carolina. She's probably the same way in Tennessee.
Yeah.
It was 70 something yesterday, and
Yeah.
today is
20s?
50.
Well, and it's like 20 in the morning. It's like, 20 degrees. And then, I know, I'm sorry. You need a smaller one.
Hey,
Our
Dixon,
pollen,
how-
our pollen up here is all frozen by now.
how cold is it at your house, Dixon?
It's got to be about 32, I would think, or 40.
See, that's the reason I live in Florida.
Now, I
It's
grew
30
up in
it's
Oregon, so I
35
did
here.
my time. I grew up in Oregon on the
34.
Columbia.
Well,
So,
it's
yeah.
35 here, so we're warmer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No. That's why I love where I'm at. It's not too hot, not too cold, but yeah. 68. Look, are we doing, okay, we're doing 69 or 69, 29, 68. Are these your measurements? What?
Yeah.
Mulberry, 69 degrees, size
much better.
75.
There you go. I don't even know how cold it is outside.
Northwest Indiana.
Feels like 29.
It just
Oh,
went up,
like
it just
29.
went up a degree.
I think I'm going to go back out to the shop for a little while tonight.
We have changed the name of this show to "How's the Weather in Your Area?"
Yeah, that's right.
The Weather
Low of
Channel.
28 tonight. That's not bad.
That was
guys.
the weather segment. Hope it's nice in your part of the world.
Exactly.
All right, guys, we're about ready to say goodnight. Thanks, everybody, for being out there in the chat. I appreciate it. Go over and check out Michelle's YouTube channel. If somebody will real quick pop that up there again in the chat for everybody to see, I'd appreciate it. But go over there and check out her YouTube channel. And while you're there, give her a thumbs up on some of her videos and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you'll click that little bell up there in the corner on her YouTube channel, it'll remind you anytime she posts a video or goes live. So I would appreciate it. I'd like to see her get a whole bunch more subscribers tonight.
I
That'd be
already
wonderful.
went over there and subbed her. So
All righty. Thank you.
Get the
You're
subs
welcome.
in.
Thanks, Michelle.
All right. Thank you all for having me
Yeah,
on.
thanks.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you're welcome. And we'll tell you, but like before we get off here, because a lot of people we don't tell and they do that, but don't when we end the broadcast live, we hang on for a few minutes and talk. So
Don't
a
run.
lot of people just click off,
They run in fear.
they do.
With good reason.
They run and say, "What the hell did I go on that show for?"
That's
Or they
really the
go-
reason
they
why they
go
do
there.
that.
They go
The channel is
right.
ruined now.
But anyway, we're going to say goodnight. But thank you again, Michelle. I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you for
I
being
had
on.
a blast. Thanks.
Well, we had a good
I needed a
time,
good
too,
laugh.
Yep, about all the poop conversation and
Can
all
I
that
say
kind of
balls
stuff.
and
Said I.
Yeah,
Can I say
moldy
one quick
balls.
thing?
There you go. It is what it is.
Yep.
May I say one quick
Life
thing?
ain't pretty all the time.
Nope. And thank you, Paul and Brenda and Al and Jim and Donald and Chris and Dixon. Thank you all for being on here too. I'd appreciate it.
Al's got a question.
Can
Oh,
I say
yeah.
one quick thing?
Yes.
Everyone have a happy Thanksgiving. And remember,
Oh, yeah.
if you're going to give turkeys away from Thanksgiving and they're live turkeys, don't throw them out of the helicopter.
A helicopter WKRP in Cincinnati.
Oh my God.
Remember Les.
Yeah.
Yep.
Best
You mean
That
Thanksgiving
wasn't-
turkeys
special.
can't fly?
It wasn't true. It was a show, and they went up in a helicopter and threw out live turkeys, thinking the turkeys could fly. They were dropping like rocks and hurting people.
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
Yeah.
Did they
Well,
really
it's-
do that?
No,
No,
it was
it's
a
not a
show.
On
show.
KRP they did.
Yeah.
On WKRP they did. Les
It was
Nessman.
a show.
This is
Les
Les Nessman. And he was
Anyway,
doing
so
he was-
but yeah,
Okay.
happy Thanksgiving.
And don't follow the microwave instructions on the turkey. My
No.
daughter got a 20-pound turkey, and there's microwave instructions on there.
on a 20-pound
Yeah,
turkey.
I'm like, who microwaves a turkey?
Yeah, really.
Wow.
No,
Make your
Donald, I
power
mean,
bill
come
go
on.
up.
We're doing
Donald does?
it.
No.
We're having our Thanksgiving catered again.
I
this
probably
year like we did
would.
last year.
Ooh.
We sit down and figured up how much it cost us to put on Thanksgiving for all our kids and grandkids and everything, and we actually came out that it's just as cost almost the same price to have it catered.
And you have
And
your
guess what?
sanity.
We don't have to do any cooking.
Yep.
Now there's a few specialty items, like I make sweet potato casserole, and it's more like a dessert rather than a.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so my
Candy
kids already
jams.
told me I've gotta make that at least because they want that every Christmas. And
You're doing it wrong. Yes, you need to
some
have
of the
one of your
kids
kids
like-
put on Thanksgiving.
some of the kids like we have one of the like Corey's making and his wife are making green bean casserole.
Yeah.
You know, with the onion
I'm like,
things.
Mom, you've got to do green bean casserole. You've got to do the stuffing. I'm gluten intolerant. I can't have stuffing anymore, but I have to
So we
make
are-
it.
Yeah,
that
we
ain't
are
fair.
making a few of those things, but anyway,
Mom,
the
the
rest of them
cheesecake, I'm like,
we're
Yeah,
catering
it's okay.
out all the big stuff though, the turkey and the ham and everything. Anyway, thank you everybody out there for watching. I appreciate it so very much. Listen, if you're too darn busy to get out in your shop and make some sawdust, by God, you're just too darn busy. Just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Good night, everybody. Thank
Good
you
night,
for
everyone.
watching. and
Night,
God
y'all.
bless.
Take it, Chris.
And remember, you don't have to go home, but you can stay here.